point of view.
All right, so recently, Lizzo has actually been in the news because she has been, the main stage, the center front of this conversation of accountability culture and cancel culture. The sensationalism has run rampant. I wanted to hear from you all what you all think about accountability culture and cancel culture as we talk about Lizzo with all of this situation with the banana story. I don't know if we could talk about that, with the story of her being two-faced, considering she is someone who's always talking about Black women empowerment and fighting against people who get fat shamed, yet she was also, in the center of a litigation.
She's accused.
That's what I'm saying.
She's
Center
accused.
of litigation.
Allegedly.
Center of litigation, considering she's being accused of fat shaming some of her dancers, and also the captain of her dance team has actually been in the center of that because she talked about and made scrutinizing comments about a dancer's virginity. So with that, what do y'all think about the Lizzo situation, but then more broadly, the cancel culture and accountability culture?
First of all, it's very unfortunate that we make judgment before anything is even proven. Like, there's an algorithm of stories that, like we talked about this last time, Zach, a while back, about how the algorithm on social media, where we look at these 5 huge platforms on social media, and just because they have a huge platform, we look at them as credible. And that's how they get the stories out there. Never in my life would I imagine this story about Lizzo on TMZ, CNN, The Shade Room. I'm like, but nothing's been proven. It's all alleged. You know what I'm saying? But they're talking about it as if it's already proven, and it's not. And so for me, that's where I have a distance with cancel culture, because people are already out trying to cancel her, and nothing has been proven. It's all hearsay.
Well, nobody's going to cancel any Lizzo. Here's the thing. Cancel culture isn't even real, because there are people who have done really horrible things. I'm not saying what Lizzo is accused of isn't horrible, what she's accused of, but there are people who have done far worse things than what, Lizzo is being accused of, and they still have their platforms. I think that's why it's really important for us to be very careful and very considerate of who we allow to have a platform. So I don't think anyone's going to get canceled. I agree with you 100% about these platforms and about how the news works and what they want to sensationalize for clicks and views and virality. In regards to Lizzo, I think that it is important, exactly as Sir Ken said, to get all the facts and to get more information out, that you hear from the accusers as well as the accused before rushing to judgment. I will say this. I haven't heard of Beyonce's dancers coming forth with abuse, but I promise you this. I can't imagine that Beyonce sat up here and will let someone get up on the stage who's been drinking the night before, who may have even been overeating the night before, and perform. The reality is, like, I am no real athlete. I just simply run and work out. But if I drink the night before, I have a little race, any race, right? Because I'm not really racing like to win a race. I'm just racing to lose weight. But if I get up and I race and I drank before, I have a bad race. If I ate the wrong foods the night before, I'm going to have a bad race. What I'm hearing in these allegations are similar things. That's true. Right? Like, and the big difference is Beyonce's dancers, those who are little and those who are not as small. Those dancers have trained for this, and they have wanted to do this for their entire lives. Lizzo allowed women who were from the, untrained world, who had natural raw talent, a chance to get on a stage that they did not know in many cases what that stage involved, and the level of work and the level of commitment and the level of dedication that it took. And when things didn't go as they thought it should go, they wanted to criticize their boss. I am not saying I know all the details. I am not saying Lizzo is innocent, but I'm saying those are some things that I've thought about in regards to how I respond to Lizzo's situation.
Well, to piggyback off what you're saying, I agree. I think I have 2 things to say about it. I think I have this notion that there's some type of like corporate devil that exists in this Hollywood famous space, right? Where we see particularly people of color who reach a certain height and a certain level of success. Lizzo literally, in addition to Beyonce, swept the Grammys last year, and she had a very successful year. She also had a highly rated Amazon Prime show where she had those plus size women come on there and audition to tour with her and go around the world with her and, give them all of these opportunities. And so I think that there's somebody pulling strings in the background, right, trying to kind of discredit her in any way that they can. But I also have a few little facts for you, okay? So get into this tea. So the dancer that started it all was Adriana Davis. She was the one that made the claim. She made the claim in April 2023.
And then she
And then she kind of basically recanted it. But then she made the claims after the tour and after season 1 of Lizzo's show aired. The other claims that have been filed, though, or well, they haven't been filed, but the other claims that have been made have only been made via social media. So they have not been lawfully filed. They have not. There's no cases, right, that are separate. It's just one big case that I think they're trying to throw against Lizzo to take to trial. So I think what I'm saying ultimately is that, to me, when I was doing my deep dive into it, it didn't have any substance. To me, it seems like a workplace issue. To me, it seems like a leadership issue. To me, it seems like Lizzo might need to be a little bit more selective of who she allows to be in her space and her professional space now that she's reached a new height. But I don't know that I'm necessarily like leaning into all of the things that they're saying.
Well, let me say this. I think one of the other things, a lot of people, 'cause I was thinking about that as well, Zach, the whole Beyonce kind of like comparison, right? So I think the difference there also is the fact that Beyonce's been around for a long time, and so there's proper infrastructure to protect her. I think everybody who works with Beyonce, it has been said, it has been known that there are NDAs that are signed for every little thing, particularly T.S. Madison, who was, going around because she was actually a part of her music for this Renaissance album, talked about she didn't even know who they were approaching her about to be a part of the music, right? So there's a lot of secrecy. There's a lot of infrastructure that's been there because that has been put in place. I don't think Lizzo has that. I think another part of this is I was watching the 3 dancers who were coming forth with these allegations on Cuomo and a couple of other, shows, CNN doing a media tour right now talking about this. And to be honest with you, from what I have seen, it's more so a lot of grievances that are workplace related. I think that it's all about, Lizzo being a boss, having standards and coming into the space and saying, hey, these are the standards that I'm enforcing prior to you, either working with me, working for me, or being on stage,
right,
etc. There's a lot of allegations that are coming on now based on, social media, sensationalizing a lot of different things that we don't know that it's even factual. And so I think there's 2 schools of thought. There's one school of thought that says, well, we have to believe the victims no matter what. And that is the only thing we have to do. And it's not to say that we shouldn't believe people who come forth when they feel that they are uncomfortable, harassed, or sexually assaulted in whatever way. Not we're saying in this situation, but we're saying is that we can be well informed while also being victim centered. And I feel like none of them are mutually exclusive, and we have to wait until we have all the facts, because it also came out that one of the dancers who were a part of this these accusations also went and tried out for the second season of the show.
She did.
Right?
Yeah.
So the second season of the show. So there's also holes in that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said prior to in a video that I made for social media, is we have to sit with the fact that we don't know Lizzo. We have met her representative, the person that we've been able to see in front of the camera, but we also don't know the dancers.
Well, again, not to interrupt you, but we are the everyone wants to think that we're the jury. We're all the jury. We're all going to court every week on all these cases with cancel culture. And again, with Lizzo, I will say from going to her concert, and I actually cried at her concert, went to her concert in Tennessee recently, and the amount of professionalism she puts into her shows, that's what I can speak from. That's what I've seen. And again, like you said, we have to give room for victims. But we also have to give room for who's being accused. In this case, Lizzo, her team released the footage of that young lady who auditioned for the second season. Like, hey, she said these allegations, but then she had those, but she still came back to be a singer for us. So let's make sure we have an even playing field, so that, again, with cancel culture, which it just hits everybody every other day, someone's being canceled.
So why did you cry at the Lizzo concert?
That's what I want to know.
I will say it was a song special.
That is a good song.
The song just hit me, and again, not just quickly. It was a kid right in front of me. He stood the whole time at the concert, and some people would be mad because this kid is standing, but he was standing next to his mother, and he was crying watching this concert. And I was so excited for him to have this experience at such a young age. And again, that's the culture that I got, and you can't manufacture that type of feeling in a room like people are getting at the Renaissance tour right now, and I'll go next week. But people get that feeling in a room with these artists, and again, sometimes we don't know these people,
right?
But again, we have to give room for Lizzo to speak, her team to speak, just like they're going on this press tour. I didn't know they went on Cuomo.